Hello and welcome to the Aaron Resource Podcast. In today's episode, I just want to elaborate a little bit more on, obviously there's lots of my podcasts about lies, that we haven't got it right, that we don't have the full truth, that we're in our infancy as far as development or evolution or progression in this universe or this earth as human beings here on earth. And I guess I've well documented that on aaronresource.org as well. But I guess at the moment my focus is on this longevity program. And while I'm doing the longevity program, as in the past when this all stems, everything that I'm talking about stems from one event back in 2018 when I healed myself of an incurable disease following a protocol plan designed that way. And the plan was, it started out that the first thing was to find out what was causing it. And then obviously to offset that by fixing it. Pretty easy. It sounds that way. And then when no one listened, I did the same process, or I sort of formed my own modality, if you like, numerology 22 healing. And I did the same protocol then with cancer. The first one was myself, so I had to do it for myself because I thought cancer was the biggest problem. So I thought I'll do it with cancer. And would you believe it took me 2 weeks? That's all. Because I've obviously done a little bit of groundwork with my own, when you understand what system we're dealing with, how the body works, what's available to us in a holistic sense, and that we're only really working with 33% what we do now. And so I've just recently put something on a podcast about weight loss, and as I'm doing this longevity program, I'm finding, like, whether it be healing, whether it be weight loss, everything is all about alignment, aligning with the natural, true state. Anything that we expose ourselves to, washing, drinking, that is unnatural for a natural system, is an eroding, is a negative, I guess, of on the healing algorithm. There's a push-pull, the yin-yang, like everything else. So everything we seem to be doing is a stressor to the system. And the other day I mentioned to a friend who was plunge pulling in this cold thing, I said, well, that's really putting stress on your body. You are, part of the top 10 causes of anxiety disorder or chemical imbalance or thing were excessive exercise and strain and wear and tear on the body, where you're actually going out and just by micro smallest amounts changing the chemical disbursement station, the way it all works. Everything is a chemical reaction in the body. I'm not sure if you know, if you've ever seen a thermograph where the brain lights up when it thinks something. That's a synapse. It's a process that sends less, in microseconds, sends a message to a chemical, which then in certain combinations, say makes your finger move, for instance, and so everything is a chemical. The DNA, the loop, the strand is 3 billion chemicals strong, and basically everything is chemical. So excessive diet and exercise, especially in different sports and stuff, you're actually putting stress, and it's actually eroding or shortening your life, so to speak. So I said to someone who was in the plunge pool, I was like, every day when you jump in that, and you might feel like you're waking up, but you're actually, it's a stressor. It's not part of the naturally aligning to get the body into a state of optimum or homeostasis, we call it. And so, anything in excess or extreme or in speed is working against us. Everything natural, soft, gentle, and natural is aligning and extending life. Then we have, body, mind and spirit. We have lots of things that we don't understand, but yet because your biology can be hacked, you can be manipulated, you can be brainwashed very easily. Humans are the easiest, and that's the result we have now. If I went and told someone this, or, I'm an experimentalist, been doing that for 30 years. I do different experiments, and, when I healed myself, I went and asked 1,000 people I told 1,000 people the same thing, and over 70% of them gave me the same response, which means you're all brainwashed and conditioned to give automatic responses to certain things based on your culture. And it does differ between different cultures and countries and things like that. But as an overall developed countries, 70% of them give me the same response, which basically translated says, I don't believe you. So what happens in the very, very near future, very, very soon, when, this is already, I'm not asking you to believe in some new, crazy, out there, quacky, bloody treatment or whatever. I'm asking you to believe in your natural system that you all have and all intuitively know that what's right for it. But you're in such dysfunction, life is such a dysfunction that you're not able to make those right intuitive decisions and understandings for yourself because you think it's all about something else. Someone's waving their hand over here, but the other hand is where the truth is at. And so we have, many different things that we just haven't got right. We just simply haven't got it right. Then entwined or entangled with all of that is the fact that the very, lifestyle and things that we are addicted to are also a problem, but not individually. Collectively, they're a problem. But I'll give you an example. The healing protocol to heal incurable diseases, you have to put down your phone. You have to do everything that's just naturally aligned. Take away anything that's man-made, that is not part of a basic human system that's naturally aligned when it comes in. So, and trust me, you don't need to throw questions around because they're pre-programmed questions and conditioning that you've got. People go, oh, what about if you're natural? What about when you're a baby and you got cancer? And I will say, well, I went into an extensive research into that as well, and there's epigenetics, and that's inherent, and I'm not going to explain myself anymore to people that just don't have the intelligence that I do. The information that I have is 1 in 8 billion. I'm the most intelligent person on the planet right now, but because of your human conditioning, the most intelligent person that could save your life, save your family member's life, make you have a life so much better than what your life is right now, you are laughing and ridiculing and basically dismissing and rejecting that person because you don't understand it. And I get it, biology, we fear what we don't know. And life is multidimensional. It's lots of aspects. Like I say, it's a chemical thing, but then we have mental, we have the soul, we have many parts of us that we just simply do not understand, because scientists and medical people that are specialising and leading the way all around the world are only dealing with the physical body. And look, there has been many, and look, all throughout history as well, anyone that has been entrusted or been in a leadership position has always kept that specialist knowledge from the collective or the masses or the most people on earth. Like religion, it was initiated versus uninitiated, and look, and all these different things, they all say it's really simple. You just need to say, do you have proof of that? Show me proof. You've believed most of the things that you've believed because they've come from a trusted source, or your family, or just not a trusted source, your trusted source. You know what I mean? That source might be lying to you, but because you trust them, you don't go and question or go and investigate or go and research what they've told you. Instead, because life's pretty full on, right? It's pretty busy. You're on the hamster wheel and stuff. So pretty much you will just bank it. You're quite happy to bank that information that will kill you, or kill you faster. So we have many pieces and parts that we just don't understand, and a lot of them is a huge number of it. Everything that I did 7 years ago in this space, in the healing space, in the science space, I had to read every single and understand exactly what every specialist, scientist, professor had in the whole world, right? I had to know what was already out there to know where the missing pieces were, to where the things. So it's pretty amazing. So even back then, there was a lot of things that were they were known, but scientists and doctors had no idea how or why it worked or why that was happening. And that was a very common thing that I came across, like the innate, that a kinesiologist goes and muscle tests for. So that is very effective. Yet there's no doctors that want to even know about it. They don't even want to go and extend on their own, I guess, knowledge. It's like me being a Italian chef, and then someone going, "Oh, would you like to come here and learn Spanish?" And I go, "No, thank you. I'm an Italian chef." So we have a world in silos where everyone is refusing to extend their knowledge in science and in medicine and in all important areas, which is where the answers are to all the things that we want answers to. So therefore, everyone that's in research right now is researching to get no answer at all. It's an impossibility. And then if you look at history, the last 50 years, they have got nothing at all. They have got absolutely jack shit. So imagine working your whole life and just failing. And look, as a disclaimer, I was there. All my life, I was just brainwashed, humanly conditioned, traumatized. I had fears, wounds, insecurities, just as you do, sitting there now probably listening to this. There's not many people that wake up. So it's quite sad from where I sit. And also there's a lot of people, most people just don't care. And as I said, more people in my healing side of things, I've taken every barrier away. It's natural, risk-free, complementary. It's free, right? There is no barrier whatsoever to get to the greatest healing protocol that heals over 80% of all disease on the planet. Yet it asks you to do something that no one's ever asked you to do before. But it gets a result that no one's ever got before. And that is to maybe put down what you're addicted to, maybe look at things a little bit differently, be in an uncomfortable state, sit in pain, transmute different things. And so we now have a world in a very, very negative, sickness is on the rise. Cost of living in developed world is on the rise. And so we have a world that we're all complaining about, but yet we're all still lining up for it. We're all still contributing to it because we haven't been able to say stop and critically think for ourselves. Now, there's not many people like myself that would continue to come out here day after day, every day for 7.5 years to document, understand, and put this into practical applications and something that you can test and use and whatever when you're ready for our children's future. There is no one in any leadership role in the world that is thinking about your children's future, about their health, about their well-being, about ending disease. There is no one trusted that you are voting for, that you are funding, that you are supporting, that is ever going to come to you with the information that I've got, because they're part of a different system, and that system does not include a natural human being. From the moment you are born, on the day you're born, you're injected with chemicals, and everything from that moment gets you further and further away from that naturally aligned human being that has the ability to heal itself of 85% of all incurable diseases and to live a far better life, not indoctrinated with fear, doom and gloom. We all have a set of sub-beliefs that have entered our system through our senses. And I'll give you an example. Everybody expects the worst when doom and gloom when presented with something different, or it happened with the year 2000. We were all freaked out about Y2K, and so as an experiment that I've just done recently, there's only 100 people, so you can't really. I work with numbers. Maybe if I did 1,000 or 1,000,000, it'd probably get the same result. So I go and get this. So I go and tell people now that, and these are brainwashed, really, really sick people having an average life and thinking that's okay, and dysfunctional and hamster wheel sort of shit. And so, the last one was a couple of days ago, and I'm walking along with this lady, and she goes, "Oh, I'm going back to school. She's just had a baby. She's going to be a naturopath." And I went, wow, the world, what a great time to do that. You are going to be in such high demand. It's the best thing you could ever do. We're all coming into this amazing time as everyone's going to get back to natural and healing. And I explained a bit about what I did. Now, do you think she went, "Wow, this is so good," and was so inspired and invigorated about the future and about helping future generations of kids to be healthier and live better? No. She ran straight into a friend and said, "I think that guy's crazy." You all expect the doom and gloom. When I tell people when I'm doing numerology readings, I always make a fact of saying, the next few years everything's going to change. Like, it's going to be amazing. All the best stuff, like when we had the technology boom and all the rest of it, there's really amazing good times coming. And they're just flawed. They don't know what to say because we've never been conditioned to expect benevolent or good things or great discoveries or things. We've just been programmed to expect more of the same or of shit. And history is very slow and uncomfortable, and so you probably haven't seen a lot, so there's not a lot of, I guess, trust in what you see. And it takes a huge amount of courage to live in this world and know the truth and walk in both worlds as you carry it. No one would do it. You want to walk in life and be ridiculed and laughed at and made fun of when you're the one that knows the truth and can save people's lives. It's not a very fun thing to do. And if you go back, like I had to go back to work out what was going on throughout history, you'll find that that it's happened all throughout history. Someone has come along and gone, "Hey, this is Thingo." They've ended up locking him up. 10 years later, they've gone, "Oh my God, he was right." And it's changed the course of the earth. Or, with healing, 50% of all babies were born dead. And one simple change, one simple thing, which is very simple to you and me, like washing your hands when you're a doctor because you work in the morgue, saved half the babies from that point onwards. Now, these are humans just like you and me. We're not very smart. We're still not very smart. And so if you want to have a better life, you've got to be open and receptive to a better life. If you want to have a beautiful love and relationship and connection, you need to be open and receptive to that beautiful relationship. There is a definite correlation and once again, in that multidimensional part of ourselves where different things can happen, we're actually blocking ourselves. We're actually limiting ourselves. And we do it in our everyday with our language and the way we go about things and how docile and, compliant. And we just don't stop and think. We just, anything, a decision made in haste is always limiting yourself to having a greater outcome, but we fucking rush into everything. And when you're like me, you've come through the trauma, the fear, I was traumatized. I had traumas that I had to get a kinesiologist to clear because, it was a random meeting of a kinesiologist that cleared it, but I had that condition for 20 years. It's a 20-year medical condition, $250,000, and every specialist in the world couldn't fix it. Random meeting with a kinesiologist, and it's gone in 15 minutes. That changed the whole course of my life, and that was 26 years ago. So if you've got this naturally aligning information, knowledge, wisdom, whatever you want to call it, that was around 26 years ago. And today the same people are dying, sick, limiting in life and restricted and blocking themselves, that the same information could help them. Then why hasn't anyone that's entrusted with your health and well-being, whether it be governments, doctors, institutions, medical institutions, whatever, why haven't they bridged that gap? Why are they heavily invested in your being sick all the time? And it's because of many things. It's not just one thing, but the main thing is that all businesses are what they call, a company, and every company must grow every single year. And as I say, I've worked for some of the biggest companies and brands in the world, like Coca-Cola, AEG, Spotless, and they strategically plan for growth every year on year. This is a fact. And so all the businesses driving all the supplies that supply hospitals, cancer patients, every single drug, everything is in growth, just as it was strategically planned, including the demise of your health. Now, these are facts. Everything that I do is free. Everything can be tested. Everything can be proven, no matter how woo-woo or how crazy or how other people ridicule and make fun of me think. Yet, you're so brainwashed, you don't even go, oh, look, I'll look over it. When I was on this journey, some of the things I came up with to offset a brainwashed person in fear, I had to transmute and, get rid of do some healing on myself, which is one thing. But I also had to sort of come up with a thing and say, look, I'm going to read and understand, read and take in everything, and then I will decide on what I will take on as part of my beliefs, or take on as real, or when I get proof on that thing. And so you could do the same, and your life would improve by 1,000-fold, right? You could say, look, I'm going to listen to this guy, I'm going to listen to all this stuff, read all this stuff, and then if I feel intuitively, or I test something and it works, then I'll adopt it and take it into my life, and your life will improve 1,000-fold by doing so. But you're not doing it. You're not critically thinking. You're not looking for good things. You're not expecting good things. You are just quite you are the problem, and I've done podcasts about this as well. You are actually your own problem, and you're still complaining, and the problem's you. And everything changed for me when I realised I was the problem. Because it takes a lot, these days with ego and all the fucking rest of the shit for people to go, hey, I am the problem. No one will say that. A narcissist can't say it, right? The people all across the world, it's slow, uncomfortable change, and they go, we'll get there eventually. We're on the way to it eventually. But the time from now to the time when all these discoveries and everything's widely known and we have created an amazing, healthy, disease-free future with abundance for our kids, the difference between now and then is quite simple. And that is that thing that I was saying about shedding that conditioning. The more you start shedding that conditioning, which is, made its way into your subset of beliefs that obviously has no proof whatsoever, right? If it has no proof, you can't prove or whatever, and you've bought it from somewhere, then shed it. Get rid of it. And then, and only then, can we reach where we're all going a lot faster. We're always going to get there. It's just going to take a lot more time because everything here moves in what we call collective. There's no time. Time was created by man. And when I say man, I mean person, whatever you want to call it. So therefore, there's no, culture says now, and we expect things now, but overall, that's not a possibility. So, I guess shed a bit of that stuff that isn't real is a good first step. Every tool, everything possible to do that, to do it in low consciousness, to heal, to grow, to ascend, to spiritually understand yourself and all the rest of it, and all the greatest, latest knowledge on earth, on the collective so far, is on my website. So if you want that, go to aaronroussos.com, and you too can have a beautiful life. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Have a great day. Bye.